What's up, guys? Well, back to Rio, and I just watched the Great Man, and it's the newest Netflix film starring Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and directed by the Russo Brothers, who are known for their work in the MCU. Now directing the first Netflix film, which is the Great Man as well. And this will be my visual review of the film, but this won't contain any spoilers for the movie, so don't worry about that. I just going to talk about my thoughts and opinions, and just about the movie in general, and what to expect going in this movie, because this movie does hit streaming on Netflix on July 22nd as well. But if you didn't know here, this be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. So let's get into it. And now, for this new Netflix film called The Great Man, it was about Ryan Gosling's character, who is the CIA's top asset, in which he uncovers agency secrets, which but no one knows who his identity is. But then like sets off a global manhunt full of assassins by his ex-colleague. And now with Chris Evans' performance in this film as Lloyd Hansen, who's like a sociopath and who's mostly the main villain of this film, and I really enjoyed how we sets off some as like comedy vibes, especially for as a comedy, which is like pretty funny, of course, and like he definitely gave us some sociopath vibes, and like especially as the main villain of this film. And now with Chris Evans' performance in this film, I really enjoyed him being the bad guy named Lloyd Hansen. It's especially like he was like the main villain, and like especially like he was like so cool, especially though with the mustache as well. And it must be we seen him in real life with like a full beard, but like seeing him in this film with the mustache, it was like really cool to see on screen, and just see him play the bad guy. And plus, with like this film overall, I definitely enjoyed its action, and it definitely had some like like weak parts, like especially like in like the first and second act as well. But like I think that this is like a great action film, especially for all the action that it's being like given off in this film. It's definitely giving off some Mission Impossible vibes, and like especially with all the action that like Ryan Gosling's character had to deal with it in this film, with an idea of Razor's character in this film, like she is definitely the scene stealer, and like in this film, of course, when it comes out on Netflix, and like just a couple of days from now, with a Dionysius character, and I really enjoyed him as well. And plus, with this film overall, I kind of liked it. I think the Russo Brothers really deliver on this one, especially from the work in the MCU with the kinds of American films, and with both Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And now I think like they kind of like set the vibe of like this is kind of like some MCU vibes, and like especially for some like kind of like Mission Impossible and Jason Bourne vibes as well. And with all the locations that this movie was like set like all over the place, in like many different locations, which was very fun to see on screen when I watched it in a theater. Plus, it was like a global adventure, and plus with all the action that went down in this film, I think that the actual was like pretty enjoyable to see in this film, especially for the fight scenes, and now with those, I think it was like super like well done and well choreographed as well, especially like well action, and it's definitely, I think the thing is like a slow pace, like especially at the start of the film, but then what starts, it builds up, it's like really a fast pace from there. So yeah, it has like a little bit of action, but then it has a ton of action, but then it starts to keep on building up to the action being fast paced. And plus, with like the story and like and the way that that's all laid out, I really kind of liked it, especially with like the vibes. It kind of like set it up here. Like I mentioned, it's got some Mission Impossible vibes. It is definitely something Jason Bourne vibes as well, especially with Ryan Gosling's character who works for like a CIA program, and like especially with like Chris Evans' character who is a Lloyd Hansen, which I like definitely enjoyed, especially for like his character being like a sociopath, and like I said, especially like with like everything that as like being involved. I thought it was like a well constructed, laid out story, and like and everything in general. And yeah, on top of all this, I really enjoyed the Great Man, and I really enjoyed Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans in this film, and I think that the Russo Brothers really delivered on this one, especially from the work in the MCU, and now like that I think that they really delivered on the Great Man, and the action sequences were like so cool. It definitely gave off some like vibes, as I mentioned many times, some Mission Impossible vibes, and possibly James Bond vibes as well. And plus, I think that is again, it's like a well constructed lay out story, and I think that it was like a solid action flick. I mean, it was like such like a cool action movie to enjoy. And plus, I mean, this is streaming on July 22nd on Netflix. So I hope that you guys enjoy the Great Man on Netflix on July 22nd as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it on Netflix. So that's me for this video. Love your thoughts in the comments down below, and how excited are you for the Great Man on Netflix on July 22nd? And if you have seen the film in theaters, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about the film. Don't forget to get this video a like and subscribe to notification of future videos, and you can follow my Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.